What up, guys? What up, guys? Welcome back. Future Trends Friday, the Vault 500, day 39. The Vault 500, day 39. Appreciate you guys. We halfway to 100, man. So if you're just tapping in, daily inspiration, daily business information, tech news. We talk about a little bit of everything from my favorite sports to technology. I'm out here on my terrace, so you got the New York vibe happening right now. But I appreciate you guys. Um, since it's Future Trends Friday, we got to talk about AI and how AI is transforming so many different industries, right? So I compiled a little list here of the different areas that are being affected by AI, right? And these are the ones that are most affected: customer service, AI chatbots, voice assistants, etc. Marketing and advertising. So these are the industries that are mostly being affected by AI right now. A lot of different areas are gonna be transformed, but right now, these are the particular areas that are being transformed the most. All right, so we're gonna go over that. Finance and accounting, fraud detection, risk modeling, content creation. Of course, we know content creation because I use a lot of AI to create content, and it's fast, it's easy. Um, and the funny thing about AI, right? A lot of people are so scared that it's removing jobs, right? But the funny thing I'm going to tell you, with me, it I was able to add jobs to my company. And I'm going to tell you, training someone to use AI is way easier than training them to do a specific task, right? I don't know if that makes sense, but let me explain. Let's say if I want someone to do graphic design. Before AI, the person would have to actually know how to do graphic design. They would have to know how to put things together, and actually they need a lot of skill in order to do graphic design. But with AI, it eliminates that skill level. So now I can teach almost anyone to do graphic design. You understand? So instead of that person being a highly skilled graphic designer, now I could just teach them how to use AI to do graphics and teach them how to prompt, and they could create high quality graphics. And that's, you have an employee now who is trained in graphics, but they don't know how to put graphics together. You know what I mean? So you can take that in any area, right? You can train someone who's not a great writer. Now they can write blogs for you. You can say, hey, I need you to do some fitness blogs, or I need you to do some sports blogs. They may not know anything about sports, right? Usually they would have to go and do research, and then they would have to have some sort of skill when it came to writing. But now with the correct prompts, you're able to write quality articles about certain things that you don't even know about, right? And you want to tweak them because you don't want to use AI for everything. But you know, I'm just saying that a lot of people are saying that it's removing jobs. It's actually making people that are less skilled more skilled, if you think about it, right? So if you know how to use AI, right, you're not losing your job. You might be able to get a better job, a better quality job, because you know how to use AI, rather than working in McDonald's, let's say. Not saying that working in McDonald's is a bad job, but it's a kind of an easier job to get, right? It's like the skill level is a little bit lower. But now you might be able to get a job as a graphic designer, making a lot more money in a better company using AI. You understand? So that's just my take on it. It's gonna replace jobs, but it's also giving people opportunities that wouldn't have had it before because they didn't have those type of skills. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So healthcare is being transformed, uh, manufacturing, and education. Now, education is being transformed too because I work in education and I use it myself. Even when I got my college degree, I was using AI. Where a lot of people wasn't using it, I was using AI to do homework and stuff like that. And what you do is I don't mind as a teacher. I don't mind students using AI, right? I have a problem if you use it and you don't tweak it and you don't change it, right? So if you write an essay using AI, I'm okay with that. Now you got to tweak it and put in your own words. That's where that's what I want to see as a teacher. I don't want you to just use AI and say you did it, and that's plagiarism. That's plagiarism. If you write something and you say you did it and you didn't, that's plagiarism. So just by you tweaking it and putting in your own words here and there, it's not plagiarism anymore because you're not using that content in that way. You understand what I'm saying? So as a teacher, I don't mind students using AI, but make sure you put some of your words in there. If you use AI to do 2 paragraphs, all right, it's not too much to ask to write half of the paragraph for one of those and half of the paragraph for the other one. There, you got the perfect grammar of AI, but then you have, or you could do this, right? You could write the whole thing yourself and then run it through AI, and AI is going to fix everything for you. Like, I would prefer students to do that. Just write the whole thing yourself and then run it through AI and let AI perfect it. And that's just how I feel. But students, I know they don't want to take the time out to do everything. But I'm telling you, that's the way I would do it. I would just write everything myself, run it through AI, let AI perfect it, and then now it's not plagiarism because you wrote it. You just let AI fix the grammar, and you let it fix certain things, set the sentence structure and stuff like that. So I'm fine with that. And another way, you can let AI write it, but then you got to tweak it. Otherwise it's plagiarism, and I don't want to read that. I don't want to read a straight AI piece of work. That's just me in particular. All right. So, but yeah, these are the industries that are being affected by AI: customer service, marketing, and I do have a business feature today, which is related to education. You know what I mean? And it's he's very interesting guy, and the idea is brilliant, right? Check it out. His name is Chris Bennett, and he's the founder of Wonderschool. And what Wonderschool is, Wonderschool is a company that helps people create educational facilities at home, right? Using AI. So the AI helps you track students. It helps you, this is for early childhood, helps you track students. It helps you do billing. And then there's also, let me see if I can find that real quick. Okay. So why he matters, y'all. Chris Bennett is a black tech entrepreneur building one of the most powerful tools in the future of education, Wonderschool. Uses AI to help teachers, caregivers, and parents start in-home childcare programs, turning early education into scalable businesses, right? So he's making early childhood programs available for people in their community. So let's say you have a child that you're going to put in school. They will have to travel maybe 5 minutes to be able to take them to school. So there'll be way more available educational facilities available because of this software that he built, and it'll be easier for parents to take their kids to school rather than traveling 20 minutes or 30 minutes. They might be have to travel to in their local community 5 minutes. They might be able to walk their kid to the school or whatever. So this is making early childhood education more accessible to people that live in certain communities, right? So the key facts: he's Honduran and he grew up in an immigrant family. He went to UPenn and helps people launch and manage and grow childcare programs. Like, and as we get to know him, right, you get to know him a little bit. He was actually schooled at home. So let's get into a little bit of who he is as a person, right? This article was found on Post 2.0 and interview with CEO of Wonderschool. Wonderschool is a company that is on a mission to ensure every child has access to high quality early childhood education within 5 minutes of their home. Very important, 5 minutes of their home. And do this by empowering early childhood educators to build sustainable businesses that meet the unique needs of families across the nation. Now, that's easy to understand, right? Let's keep going. He grew up in Miami, first generation American. Parents immigrated from Honduras. And he says, I actually went to a home-based childcare program and had a really incredible experience that I could now see was instrumental in putting me on the path that led to me where I am today. So he was homeschooled. That led him going to better schools. He went to UPenn, prestigious school. And then his whole life is what gave him the idea of starting this program, being able to help caregivers and people at home get more accessible education for early childhood students, right? So let's keep going. How did the idea from Wonderschool come together? From my own childhood, I was inspired to be an entrepreneur, but there were a few key factors that made the idea of Wonderschool come into fruition. I attended a TED Talk conference in Vancouver and learned that most skills a person acquires happen before the age of 5. Learning how critical the first few years are a person's long-term development and success made me think back to early childhood. Okay, this is interesting right here. He said, I attended a TED conference in Vancouver, and that most skills a person acquires happen before the age of 5. I never knew that. I never knew that the most skills a person will acquire happens before the age of 5. So keeping that in mind, parents, get on your kids, man. Make sure that they're learning, certain things before the age of 5. Because I didn't even realize that. You know what I mean? Like when I had my daughter, my wife used to read to her while she was in her stomach. And a lot of people didn't think that made any sense. But my wife would do it every day. She would pull out a book and she would read to her. And then when my daughter finally was born, she used to cry that she couldn't read. This was before she learned how to read. She used to say, I can't read. And I used to think, like, is her being so interested in reading, was that because she used to read to her while she was pregnant? Like, I was wondering, like, because she was really upset that she couldn't read. Like, she would cry, like, I can't read. And I was like, I never heard a kid do that before. You know what I mean? But the most skills, he says, right? The most skills that you learn is before the age of 5, which is crazy. I never even thought about that. But all right, let's keep going. This is what they offer for providers. So we're talking about Wonderschool. Wonderschool is a AI assistance technology that Bennett created to help caregivers and people that work at home um, uh, make education more accessible to people that live in certain communities. Like instead of having to travel 30 minutes, you can travel 5 minutes and bring your kid to school and they'll have a good quality education. Homeschool, right? Homeschool education without being in a big building, etc. You know what I mean? All right, so this is what it offers for providers. Wonderschool offers a suite of tools to help individuals run operational, administrative side of at home childcare business. The platform provides business coaching and is easy to use for providers to market their programs, auto billing. So, if you're someone that wanted to start an early childhood program in your home, it gives you all the tools you need to run the program and even market the program, right? And this is called Wonderschool. And it also has, as we keep going, they also offer a program for parents, functions as a digital marketplace for families to easily navigate through the often overwhelming process of searching for childcare programs in their area to ensure they are able to find a program that meets their family's unique needs. So now Wonderschool also has an aspect of the company where parents can actually search for schools in their area, right? And then there's another layer of the company that offers for governments, right? Wonderschool partners with civic leaders and government-sanctioned education departments at the local and state levels to implement free training programs to arm citizens with the resources they need to become at-home providers. Okay, so there's three layers to this company, right? For providers, they're giving you the material, the access to market your program, start a program in your neighborhood, and then there's another layer where it helps parents find schools in the area, right? Early childhood education. And then there's a third layer where they work with the government and local states to train people so they can become providers, right? To train people so they can learn how to do those things like opening up a school in their neighborhood, which is going to give people in the community access to early childhood education, right? So that's three different layers of this company, Wonderschool, and it's really cool. And it's something honestly that I wouldn't even thought of, you know. So we're talking about Bennett, the founder of Wonderschool. It's AI early education, empowering educators, tech that builds community, right? So this app or this software, right, is going to give educators what they need to start a home business. Then it's going to train people so they can actually do this. And then it's going to give parents searchable schools in their neighborhood so they don't have to travel far where they can go and get education. So to me, this is really brilliant. And that's why I really wanted to talk about it today with you guys. It's a brilliant idea and it's using AI. And like I was saying earlier, AI is not taking people's jobs. It's actually giving people jobs. It's creating jobs. So if you just take the time to just learn AI a little bit, it's gonna benefit you in a major way. Like AI is gonna create millions and millions of jobs because now you have people that may not have certain skills. They'll be able to create art. They'll be able to uh, do podcasting. They'll be, you have a lot of people that don't want to get in the front of the camera like me and talk. There's a lot of people that don't want to do that. But now with AI, you can use avatar and you can use your voice and you don't have to use your voice. So AI is opening the lane for a lot of people that don't want to get on camera, people that don't want to do certain things. And it's giving you a lane. It's giving you the ability to create things. So there's a company called, I think, Synesthesia, where they provide avatars, and all you have to do is type in a prompt and the person will talk for you. Like, you can create videos, create content for YouTube and whatever, and it's not even your face, it's not even your voice. And you could brand it, and you can make that person, or you can create your own person. You know what I mean? It's the level of AI is crazy, you know? And I really, I'm trying to embrace it myself, because at first I was like, you know what? AI is just gonna like ruin a lot of things for people, and it's gonna take a lot of jobs. But once I started embracing it and really started learning about it and using it myself, I'm realizing that it's gonna create jobs. And people that are stubborn, they're gonna have to get a trade. People that are stubborn and they don't want to learn AI, the next generation. I'm talking about young people, because I get a lot of people on here that are a lot of different. Some people are retired, some people are not, some people are coming up. But um, if you don't want to learn AI is going to take a lot of jobs. So you're going to have to get into a trade. And then I see AI taking a lot of trade jobs. I saw a robot the other day doing an electrician job. And they were like, it's better for a robot to do an electrician job, because if it gets shocked, it's not human, it's not going to die, right? So robots are even taking electrician jobs, because they're like, wait, it's safer. You know, he's climbing up there on that pole, and he could fall. Probably people fall all the time and hurt themselves. If the robot fall off there, and who cares? Just buy another one. You know what I mean? So don't be afraid of AI. You know, it's future trends Friday. Don't be afraid of AI, people. It's happening. It's already happening. I use AI every day. I used AI to make this right here. The Vault 500 Day 39, I used AI to create that. You know, I used AI to create this. It saved me some time. I just typed in a prompt, and I typed in his name, and boom, that's what I got. So I ain't even gonna act like I don't use AI. I use AI all the time, you know. But yeah, it's future trends. I appreciate you guys for tapping in. We're gonna roll out of here. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm gonna try and get on here consistently. I say that every day, but you know, I had took a couple of days off, but I'm trying to get back on here consistently, talking with you guys. Um, and it's you know, running straight to the Vault 500, man. We at day 39. We making it though. We getting there. So, you know, if you don't know what I want to do with the Vault 500 is, I want to eventually turn it into a course. Like, it's going to be kind of like a real world course where people can kind of look back and see how I built the Vault 500 and use it as like a business model. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a bunch of different things in one, right? The Vault 500 is going to be a business course. It's going to be like a how-to, you know, for people that want to get into influencing. They can come back and look at the Vault 500 and say, okay, he did 500 shows, and then this is what happened. This was the result. You know, he talked about this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be maybe even a book. I might even turn it into a book. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens at the end of the 500. But I'm definitely going to turn it into a course, so people can see the whole process, and you know, they can see all the different people that I talked about and see how they built their businesses. And one ongoing thing that I've seen with a lot of the entrepreneurs that I've talked about, and I said this before, is they know how to recognize a problem, right? And even this guy right here, right? Chris Bennett, what did he do? He recognized that there was a need for early childhood education that was accessible to people. You know, because people like they some people find it hard to find early childhood education in their neighborhood, and he saw that there's a need for that, and he created his company, an AI company, to fulfill that need. And a lot of the entrepreneurs that I talked about before, let's go back a little bit. Let's go back. Um, let me see if I have it. Let me see. I don't have it. But all the entrepreneurs that I featured, they have that one skill that's very important. They know how to recognize a problem, and then they solve that problem with their business, and then it becomes successful. That's an ongoing thing that I've been seeing inside with these entrepreneurs that I've been talking about. And that's the same thing when I started my company, Spate Media, back in 2006. A lot of magazines I had a print magazine back in 2006, right? If you guys didn't know. And a lot of print magazines were going out of print. Everything was going digital. That's when the digital boom started. YouTube started in 2005. I think a lot of these other companies, Facebook started around 2005. A lot of these social media companies started around 2005. So a lot of these print magazines started going out of business and they started closing down. And I had a print magazine at the time. And I was like, wait a minute, what should I do about this demand of digital, right? So that's when I created my podcast. I created my podcast in 2007. Nobody was thinking about podcasting back then. I started my YouTube channel back in, if you go and you look, when I started this YouTube channel, go to the description and see, I started this YouTube in 2006. YouTube was created in 2005. So I was on it. I said, man, I'm going to get on it and start with this digital. So I killed my print magazine and I went straight digital. And I started the podcast. I started this YouTube channel, and I did a blog. Instead of starting a print magazine, I went and I created a blog, which was spatemag.com at the time, which I think is still Spate Mag, but now it's like spatehiphopnews.com. But anyway, I saw that there was a need. Nobody was doing it at that time. Nobody was doing podcasting. Now, if you're on a computer and you put in hip hop podcast, you're going to see my face because I was one of the original podcasters in hip hop. A lot of these people that you see doing podcasting follow me. Now, if you don't believe me, go on I don't know if you're going to get the same search results if you look on your phone. Go on a computer, put in hip hop podcast, and you're probably going to see my face because I'm one of the originators of hip hop podcasting. But anyway, that's what my point. I went off a little crazy. My point was I was able to recognize that there was a need for podcasting. Nobody was really doing it at that time. So I did it, and I ended up going viral multiple times. People didn't know why they were going viral. My interviews that I did with people like Nicki Minaj and Young Chris and all of these famous rappers at the time, people started clipping my podcast and putting it on World Star and putting it on all of these different hip hop websites, and it went viral. And that's why I'm here today talking to you, is because I was one of the original podcasters. So I'm here, and then that's how I got into education. That's how I got into teaching. That's how I went back to school and got a couple of master's degrees. The reason is because I started podcasting, and that made me want to learn more about education, and it made me want to learn more about a lot of different things. So I ended up being a teacher, getting my master's degree, and I'm here today still on the internet, and I'm still doing my podcast too. So yeah, that's a little bit. But my point, I was able to recognize the need, and that's the ongoing thing that I see with a lot of the entrepreneurs that I've been featuring on the Vault 500 is they all know how to recognize issues, problems, and they solve it with their business, right? So if you're going to take anything from today, take that. Recognize an issue and then solve that issue with your business. Even if you're talking about an ice cream shop, right? We have a lot of successful ice cream shops, and you think that if you started an ice cream shop or a donut shop that it wouldn't be successful. But in New York, I live in New York, there's a ton of donut shops that are very successful. Why? Because they took the donut and they made it unique. They have different types of donuts. They have different flavors. They put nice designs and different stuff on their donuts, and they make them look different. And then they probably offer the traditional donuts, but then they have their spin on it, right? And they're very successful. It's a business that's already been there, but they put their spin on it. And they recognize the need. and they recognize a need in certain communities. Excuse me, right? So, but yeah, I appreciate you guys. The Vault 500. I'm gonna get on here every day. I've been saying that. I took like, I don't know, there's a couple of days that I haven't been here, like 2, 3 days, but I appreciate you guys for tapping in. The Vault 500, day 39. Again, I'm still trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with the Vault 500 when it's done, but most likely it's gonna be a course that people can kind of look back and see how I built it, and use it as an example for students and teachers, professors, whoever they want to use it. They can kind of look back and see the trends, how people built their businesses, and the genius behind a lot of these creators and businesses, and how the transition came from people actually creating businesses manually and now creating businesses with AI, right? So thank you guys. Appreciate you guys. This is King here. It's the Vault 500, day 39. Check in with me tomorrow. Tomorrow's what, Saturday? Yeah. So tomorrow we'll be talking about, just how you guys did for the week, what I did for the week, and getting ready for the next week, and getting prepared using AI to organize your life, right? If you guys remember the tools that I was telling you should be using to schedule stuff, right? So hope you guys remember. But see you tomorrow. The Vault 500, day 39. King here, and I'm out.